All right, welcome to episode 144 of My FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's other mediums to listen or watch this content. One of them being the blog. The My FX Buddies blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. Spotify.com has audio and video. Apple Podcasts, RSS.com has a transcript that's pretty good. And Rumble.com has video, and everywhere that I post under My FX Bunnies. So yeah. All right, so we'll get into it. It was another good day of articles. So I'm starting with this came out today. Today is December 13th. Oh, it's Friday the 13th. That's right. Look, I don't even pay that any attention anymore. But anyway, and it's early enough where this should post for Friday the 13th of December. All right, so this article came out today, but I'm also going to go over some from yesterday. So, the title, Why Will Iraq Become One of Trump's Priorities? And for those who are just listening, priorities is in quotation marks. In the coming period. And when they put this out at first, it was urgent. It was urgent news. So there he is, political researcher. So he's not government, right? But he's someone that this is a heavily visited website. Also, they interviewed him. He said Trump is planning major changes, and I keep saying his name. I keep forgetting. Anyway, the T-Man is planning major changes in the Middle East region, and therefore the region is entering a new phase, and Iraq will be at the forefront of these changes in terms of the security and economic reality. That right there is great. We could end it right there. But I wish there was something. I have a feeling maybe they're talking now, but I don't know, because Blinken was over there today. He made an unannounced trip, and there's an article there, and I don't think the T-Man likes Blinken because of all the things they're doing. You know, on one side, it's so crazy. We have like two presidents, and for those of you who listen to Kim Clement, remember, he said that. He prophesied that years ago. We would have two presidents. But world leaders are talking to one side and trying to make decisions towards peace. Blinken and whoever else is running the military seems to be not moving towards peace, right? But anyway, so just looking in from the outside, it's interesting. All right, so according to this change, Iraq will witness internal events, some of which will be difficult and related to the security aspect of the weapons file outside the control of the state. The T-Man is planning to significantly limit these weapons as part of the policy of trimming Iran's arms in the region. And he doesn't mean arms that hug you, right? Yeah, so then it goes on to say when he'll be in, and reiterates the threat of if the hostages are not returned. You know, I'm sure you heard that. Okay, I was going to say something else. So, if you don't know, and why would you? The Iranian currency is at an all-time low right now. 770,000 reals per dollar. It's been at an all-time low before. It was 699,000, then 703. And it's just been going down, down, down. And it's because people, countries are saying, oh, things are going to change for you. So we're going to step away. We'll be back in 4 years, right? Unless something's different. There are some changes um, that you can see coming out of Iran, except not from the Ayatollah. He gave a speech and he's still death to America and, the great Satan and the little Satan. So he's spewing the same rhetoric, but there's some other things that indicate maybe they're softening to playing the global game. But anyway, we shall see. All right, so these are from yesterday. Oh, we can skip that. Just a warning, like they have to tell us, be careful about suspicious websites. That's my phone. They do that in Iraq. They have suspicious websites. So, this is, um, let's see, is this the one? Okay, I can't remember. Well, Aliyah Locke came out and praised the Trade Bank of Iraq. He even visited one of the branches. But yeah, I think we did. Okay, so 2 days ago when I did episode 143, they were talking about having multiple channels for people to get foreign currencies. And this article says Arab currencies. That by doing that achieves continuous stability in the exchange rate. And remember, Mohammed Saleh was out talking about achieving stability in the exchange rate in the national currency. Remember that article? So lots of talk about it. So, yeah, if you read that, I think they say stability in the exchange market 3 times in this little article. But they ran that yesterday and today. So they really want the citizens to see that. Here's that event that is happening in Basra, which people are excited about. It is a great thing, but until they change the rate and pass the laws that protect foreign investors, well, domestic investors as well, they can't do anything concrete. So I'm sure when they planned this, because it is a big event, 140 diplomats, and diplomats, they don't travel alone, right? They bring a delegation with them. So it's a lot of people, a lot that are there. And yeah. So I'm sure when they planned that, they probably were hoping they'd be further along in the process, right? But all right, so this guy is a banking expert, and he says developing the financial sector is the key to development. And this is what I like about this is Abdul explained the importance of supporting the next phase aimed at developing the performance of economic sectors in a way that achieves diversity in the country's financial revenues and working on preparing in-depth studies on the available and accessible capabilities in non-oil activities and blah, 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 right? You can read that. That is there. So next phase, they're talking a lot about next phase. He also talks about advanced banking system that Iraq has. So another good article. Here's the unannounced visit and a surprise landing in Baghdad. And he meets Blinken. Blinken meets Sudani. We're committed to supporting Iraq. I kind of don't believe it was unannounced, though, because remember there was one president, it may have been the T-Man, but there was one, maybe 2 presidents that stopped down to greet the soldiers on a holiday, either Thanksgiving or Christmas or around there. And some of the people had a fit because they didn't clear it. They didn't know that it was happening. And so I'm thinking somebody knew he was coming, right? But anyway, so yeah, so there's that. And of course, they're talking about Syria, but I'm hoping there's some other stuff in there that they talked about too. And what is the secret of the map? Blinken receives a U.S. military briefing regarding Iraq and Syria. So, reading more articles than the two that I have, I think I just have two posted here. Yeah. It seems they had a briefing maybe via video, maybe a video conference, or maybe a phone call, but away from everyone else. It looks like Blinken had a briefing, and then from there, they went and met with Sudani and his, whoever he felt it was necessary to have there. But if you don't know, they are restructuring the Middle East now. There was a plan. Someone told me to look up the New American something. Going back, did you watch that video? There's a video of General Wesley Clark telling how he was told by one of the presidents, I'm not sure which president it was, maybe W, that we were going to take over 7 countries in 5 years. So fast forward 25 years. I think it's 25 years almost, right? 22, because we were there, 2003? But so now, then if you look at the plan that's called the Greater Israel or the New Middle East, or there's this plan out there that you can pull up and read. It involves the same places in the same countries, some of the same countries that are mentioned in that video. So they are working on that, unfortunately, wiping out a lot of people as they move forward. But you know, things change, right? 100 years go by, and society or empires, whatever, fall, and a new one rises. And then a lot of people also say what is happening, we're letting happen to keep the dollar in power too. Very interesting. But anyway, so they are, Britain is talking about Syria and having a part in deciding who's the new government. We are. Iraq is like, hey, we'll just wait. But we want action. We're tired of words. We want action. We'll sit back and you guys fill in the government. And Iran is not happy about that. Iran would like Iraq to take a bigger stance. So, just a little background of what's going on. So, this is a interesting article. After the events in Syria, will Iraq witness a new economic phase? I hope so. Right? We want them in a new economic phase. So it's kind of negative. He starts out, Iraq is suffering from major economic challenges due to political and military crisis in some surrounding countries, but the impact of these crises on the Iraqi economy is still somewhat limited, right? But the part that I wanted to read to you, Fawad, who is the, let's see, the person talking here, but he's an economic expert. It's not Fuad Hussein, the foreign minister. Fuad expressed his hope that there will be a positive economic change that creates an equal and just economic system based on capitalism and a free economy. See, that's where we want them. Right now, they're in a rentier state. Does that name sound familiar? Rentier, which means they mostly make their income from one source, and the state right? Quote unquote state mostly benefits, but we want them to have capitalism and it says free economy. Sometimes it says open economy. So I like what he's talking about. And then let's see, what else? He added that the Iraqi economy is immune to regional tensions, noting that central economic policies and stable oil revenues give Iraq great ability to confront any fluctuations. All right, so there's more to that article, but those were the parts that I liked. And oh yeah, let me just say that's why I recommend you go to the blog, because there may be something in the article that I didn't read that you could read that you may like better, right? Okay, so here's another um, article. Iraq on the map of change. Expert says expected international decisions will be taken before the T-Man's arrival. And this was urgent also when they posted it. So who's he meeting with? I think this is the Blinken people. The call of the United Nations, in Iraq to take new decisions that serve the current situation to avoid crises in Iraq. Yeah. So he's meeting with UN people here. There's a clear message. Iraq is heading towards changes. There are important decisions that will be taken in the near future related to the changes taking place in the region, especially with the T-Man's imminent assumption of the presidency in the United States of America. So then they go on to talk about Anthony Blinken's visit. Yeah, so, and it uses the phrase new phase again. See right there? For this reason, the new phase will witness major changes on the internal level. So I would like for those to be, oh no, the economic, but some of the articles are missing. So hold on. I'm going to pause here and put the ones that are missing. All right. I forgot to put the articles for yesterday on here. So now, with the magic of editing, they are here. Plus, here's my one little commercial. I'm offering a product. Not RV related either. But, but I don't have a website or whatever, official one. So if you want to see it, you have to go to the blog, and this will be a live link, and you can click there. All right. So yesterday, the oil minister met with the U.S. Embassy delegation and Honeywell, and of course, I'm guessing it was good, right? It was a good meeting, but they were following up on memorandums of understanding that were signed 7 months ago, because everything's on hold, right? Waiting for not just the rate to change, but especially the oil and gas law, right? Needs to be officially official. But at least it's good to see them still talking, and saying, we're still ready, we're still waiting, we still want to do this thing, right? Okay, so here, I'm guessing that they're having trouble getting the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of Interior employees. What is that? Why is that doing that? Forgive me. Okay. To getting on the electronic payment system, so they're offering them free electronic cards. So they still have to go open a bank account. And a matter of fact, Kirkuk, somewhere, it might even be Kuwait. It's Kuwait. Kuwait is gonna unbank people who haven't been fingerprinted, who haven't given their biometrics by a certain date. So I'm like, wow, they're serious. But yeah, so I guess eventually Iraq will probably make that announcement too. But they're still in the process. But anyway, yeah, so trying to get them in to get their new get on the new system. Opening of a dollar exchange outlet at Kirkuk International Airport. And if you didn't listen to episode 143, there was a very good article in there about Kirkuk. And a guy that is actually in government, he is a member of parliament, he promised them that their just share is in the 2024 budget. I've never seen that in writing before. And there it was in black and white, coming out of the mouth of a person actually in government. Not an expert, not a financial person or economist, someone in the government. So hopefully he's not making false promises, right? But anyway, yeah, so then a day later, I'm sure that this thing in the airport, it was already open. But yeah, so they've opened outlets for travelers to get dollars. And then it also says the work of the exchange company at the airport will be monitored by the CBI. So here, the Kurdistan region signs trade agreements with India. So they're still not one Iraq, right? If this is specifically the Kurdistan region, and I believe the Baghdad part has already had some agreements with India, but yeah, there they are. And then there's a ton of pictures. They put a lot of pictures for some reason. U.S. Security Advisor, he came out. What's his name? I can never remember his name. Jake Sullivan. He came out and said, I have a feeling Netanyahu is ready to make a deal on the 4-letter word where those hostages are. And then Sudani is going to Britain next month to meet with this guy who is their security something or another. British Foreign Secretary. And they're going to talk about relations between the two countries. Of course, Syria. If you can hear that noise, the heater just kicked on. All right. So here's the announcement I was talking about. Central Bank Governor Ali Alak announced opening external channels with foreign currencies eliminates the black market. So here it says gradually in the body of the article, it says gradually eliminate. But we don't want gradual. We want overnight. Boom. Get rid of it, right? But so they announced that. And then with that great announcement, this comes out. Central bank denies audio recording attributed to Ali Alak. So, well, first of all, this is exactly what Sudani just yelled at, or he spoke angrily, right, at the parliament, leaking stuff out. And then, I can say his name when I see it. Samir al-Nusari, he spoke directly to the media and said, hey, we're trying to build our future here. Why don't you post positive things, accurate news, but positive news, right? So this will not be considered positive. But the good thing is the CBI is not believing it. They're standing behind Ali Alak and saying that is not him. But who is it? So there's a recording of someone talking about how they have smuggled $250 million daily through the auction. So if it's a true recording, someone's saying it, right? But yeah, so hopefully it's nothing. And we know there are people who've been asking for him to be removed, right? So they could be trying to set him up or whatever, but I'm sure that will be handled in the proper manner, with the right people. The integrity ministry will probably review it and look at it. But yeah, so that's it. That's the articles I feel were pertinent for the past 2 days. Good, the only thing that is not positive is what's going on in Syria. And, well, one other good thing about Iran is they've come out and said they won't let terrorists, or I probably shouldn't have said that word, but they, I don't know if you remember the other day, I said they keep saying they're not going to go back to 2014, and now I know why. 2014 was when ISIS took over. So they're worried about, since there are some supposed ISIS factions and another group, I can't think of the name, but there's some groups that want to take over Syria that we don't necessarily approve of. And Iran is like, don't worry about it. We're not going to let them cross borders over into Iraq. Don't see why they need to make that promise. But they did help. Iran was a big help in the fight against ISIS. So, you know. All right, so that's it. It is Friday. I encourage you to enjoy this weekend. When I had a house, this was the weekend, because, the 15th you get paid. This was the weekend we would buy the Christmas tree, and we would decorate the house and watch movies and sing Christmas carols and all that good stuff. But no more children. The children are men now, but actually, where I am now, the neighborhood is starting to decorate and put lights up. So it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Plus, my favorite commercial where the Hershey Kisses, they ring like bells, that's playing. And the Mariah Carey song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, I heard that. So I'm very much in the Christmas spirit, as they say. So yeah, hopefully you will be. There's so much that could distract us. But try to step away this weekend. Forget the politics. Forget what we're waiting for, and enjoy the season. Enjoy your loved ones or your family. I know sometimes we don't love our family, right? Anyway, all right, I'm rambling now. So accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Oh, and wherever you are enjoying this content, look for actually two things. I forgot to do one in the beginning. Look for a join, follow, subscribe button. If they have that, take whatever action is necessary to activate that, because I don't update regularly. So if you do that, when I update, if all things work as they're supposed to, you'll be notified. Also, if there's a more info, details, description, something like that, click on that, and wherever you're listening, there'll be a link to the blog. All right. Thank you. Enjoy. I feel there may be something worth posting this weekend. So if I don't post tomorrow, I definitely feel I'll post on Sunday. I just don't know when. All right. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, day, whatever time frame you're listening. And until next time.